why has there been so much hostility towards the starting quarterback at Baylor in recent years? Yeah, it's starting with that Charlie Brewer 2020 season. And people still hate him for that. Up to this day. The dude is a good kid off the field. People need to remember, part of the reason why in 2018 we made a bowl game is because of him. After that 1-11 season. And part of the reason why we won 11 games in 2019 was because of him. He sacrificed his 2017 freshman year as a redshirt. Because let's face it, if Anu Solomon was healthy all year long, unlike back then, I mean, he only played 2 games and never heard of again. I mean, it's the truth. And then Zach Smith didn't perform as well, so we decide with plan B. And he showed promise. That 2020 season, I think he just got banged. He just got too many hits at Baylor. And people were always asking for Jacob Zeno. There's a reason why Jacob Zeno has done not much at UAB. There's a reason. The other guy's just better. So that's the truth on that. And also the most popular guy on the team is the backup quarterback position. I don't get it. Of course, we know Gary Bohannon in 2021 had to compete with Jacob Zeno, and Jacob Zeno got beat out. So he left. Of course he would. To UAB. And then Gary Bohannon had a hamstring injury against Kansas State, and Blake Shapen took over. When he took over, he looked good. You can't deny that based on the stats. I mean, look at that Big 12 title game where he got hurt. And I know he got hurt and didn't play again for that rest of the year with a shoulder injury. But that could have been, I think that is his upside potentially as a quarterback. But you got to also remember, last year's down year is not just because of Blake Shapen alone. We lost skilled position guys at wide receiver and running back in particular to the NFL draft / there are no more years of eligibility. And running back, yeah, tight ends, we had everybody back nearly. So, or everybody. So, yeah. I also think part of the reason too was the defense was not that great. I mean, it took a step backwards. You can't deny that. Based on the stats alone, and yet our offensive numbers improved in terms of as a team for 1 year from 2021 to 2022. Blake Shapen, I admit, he's inconsistent. I know that. But I will give you some stats. First of all, he suffered a concussion in that West Virginia game. And if he was not concussed in that game, we were going to be West Virginia. You can't deny that part. You can't deny it. I mean, we're right there against BYU. Right there against TCU. I mean, 3-1 possession losses. So, we were better than 6-7 record shows. You can't deny that part. I know he didn't do so good against Texas, but that's besides the point. And we lost by like 9 points, and of course 11 points to Oklahoma State as well. But pre-concussion, 68.5 completion percentage, 241 yards per game, 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, with 27 attempts per game. Afterwards, 29.2 passing attempts per game. 59.2% completion percentage, 192 yards per game, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So, yeah, you can't deny before that concussion that he was bad. I mean, you can't deny that part. And I know people were asking for Kyron Drones. We want him at quarterback. Seriously, the guy was not RG3. First of all, some people thought he was. I mean, he had the running ability, but he's not at like RG3 running ability. He's not. Second, he doesn't have the arm strength, and it limits the playbook. So, yeah. Nice try with that. And you know what's funny is? Baylor fans want him to start at quarterback. Guess what? At Virginia Tech, he's not going to start. Once again, it proves Baylor fans don't know diddly about their quarterback. Nor the only people that really for sure know it are the coaches. What they see in practice. Seriously. And I know in that spring game, Blake Shapen didn't look good and look great, but Zoe Robinson looked good. But when you consider everything as a whole, including the spring practices, Blake Shapen was better. The coaches see it. We don't. And also part of the problem for Sawyer Robertson is he ran an air raid offense as a starting quarterback both in high school and at Mississippi State. But you also got to remember, he's only attempted 11 passing attempts in his entire career. He's not experienced. Blake Shapen is. He's used to the system. Not Sawyer Robertson, but Sawyer has improved. Yes. And there's the 3 tiers of Baylor fans out there that are on this situation. I'm going to go with the negative first and go to the positive. The negative, Blake Shapen's going to suck this year. I mean, we don't trust him at all. He's going to be terrible. And the second part, the middle, which is where I'm at, trust Dave Aranda and staff. I mean, Blake Shapen's the starter? Fine. But fine, yeah. And part of another reason why he didn't, in that same tier, he didn't have the skill position guys from last year. And there were other issues too, like the culture inside the locker room. And the defense, like I said, I mean, was a step backwards from the year before. And the most positive tier about this, look, Blake Shapen is probably that 2021 guy all over again. We just lost skill position guys from that year from 2021 to 2022. So, yeah. And on the negative as well, they think he's just that 2022 Blake Shapen. So, you got to remember too, prior to that last year, he only started for 2.5 games. I mean, 2 full games here. Texas Tech in the Big 12 title game, and he did play in that Kansas State game, yes, but he did not start the game. Oh no, he didn't. So, that's another fact out there, and you got to admit that's the truth. So, now I'm just with the middle tier right now, and I'm going to tell you right now, if Blake Shapen doesn't perform well, I'm sure the coaches they're going to pull him, and they'll probably give him one last chance to redeem himself from the last year's disappointment. Because if he doesn't perform as well, and we have Utah at home, Texas at home, Texas Tech at home, UCF on the road, just to name some tough games in there, because no offense to Texas State and Long Island University, those should be wins. I mean, they're going to have to pull the trigger potentially and get Sawyer Robertson in. You got to have Sawyer Robertson ready no matter what, and he's going to probably just continue to prove. So his future's bright with the program. He's going to stay for sure. He's already stated to Dave Aranda, I want to stay here. And look, even if he would transfer out right now, he has to sit out a year. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't. So it's the truth on this. So yeah. I'm just on the camp of let's just wait and see what happens during the season. Then from there, whatever happens, we'll adjust. Because look, we have a solid backup no matter what. I mean, he's more ready for this system. I mean, it's going to be better in this system than Kyron Drones was. Seriously. And I know Sawyer Robinson is still he did transition over from air raid offense. He ran in high school as a starting quarterback and at Mississippi State. The playbook is different. The style of offense is different. People got to remember that. He's not ready right now. But he's also going to have to be prepared in case Blake Shapen gets hurt. Because, look, last year was a concussion. And in a Big 12 title game, he had a shoulder injury. So, those are just the facts. And their hostility is just beyond ridiculous. I mean, and I also think Baylor fans are spoiled too. I mean, with the quarterback position. First of all, RG3. Second, Bryce Petty. Of course, you can't leave out Seth Russell when he was healthy. Both those years. I mean, he was really good in both those years. It just unfortunately got season-ending injuries. And of course, I know Nick Florence was not like amazing, but he wasn't terrible either. I mean, in that 2012 year, and he even beat number 1 Kansas State unexpectedly. But even according to some people, but not me. I knew Baylor had a chance to win that game. So, but not that much though. So, I'm just stating the facts on that. And like I said before, the backup quarterback is the most popular guy on the football team. It doesn't mean anything if they transfer out and they are not doing anything whatsoever at other programs. So, anyways, I apologize for this rant, and I just want to give my opinion on this Blake Shapen situation. Like I did say in that video yesterday on a few things to take away from the Dave Aranda press conference too, I know. But I also just wanted to do a separate video on this hostility issue, and it needs to be cut out. Seriously. And my opinion on this situation, and I'm just of the opinion, let's wait and see how Blake Shapen does. If nothing else, we got a solid backup plan and Sawyer Robertson, and people got, and like I said, people got to remember, he just enrolled in January. It takes time to get used to a new playbook, a new style of offense. But he's only going to get better from here. So, and that's according to Dave Aranda himself. He said that in a press conference. So, and I'm sure they're going to pull him, if nothing else. Pull him early. And this is his last go around as a starter, because if he doesn't perform, they're probably going to take him out. So, for this year, once and for all. So, if you like this content, hit like and subscribe button. See you guys later. 5 subscribers, we're on the road to it. Let's go.